process of increasing in size. A feature that is both individual, intrinsic, and throughout nature.
This is going to be so interesting, you know.
This is the moment we have been waiting for.
I'm feeling it now.
What has come before is now consigned to the history books. This new decade brings new challenges, new rivals, falling giants, and new beginnings.
Bang, bang, bang! 3 shots to the heart.
Oh,
in the back end.
Oh no!
Those who are climbing will meet. Who will fall by the wayside, and who will embody growth.
There's still wheel to wheel!
That is unbelievable.
League of Europe, growth or fate.
Bottom of the evening, everybody. Welcome to Division 3-4 Round 5 around the Monaco Grand Prix, the Monte Carlo circuit, shall I say, for Round 5. My name is Jacob, of course, taking you guys through it as always, and hopefully to continue doing that throughout the entire time with my colleague, my sidekick, my fellow XL member, Mr. XL Noon. Unfortunately, it's the midnight, not the noon.
Indeed, it is midnight. Hello, everybody. I'm a bit scared for what's going to happen in the next hour or so based on the last 2 races. I'm scared that we're even going to get anyone to finish the line on lap 39, but we'll see. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, and we've already got yellow flags as people are backing up into Sector 3. I'm going to be wincing in my seat watching the traffic in this session, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to go for tonight, especially around the tightest circuit, I suppose it is considered as on the calendar. I suppose there could probably be a couple others that would come, maybe some sort of, probably not even actually close, actually, just something that's also a bit of a street, like a tighter street track, but this, without a doubt, I think everyone wants to try and avoid Monaco as much as possible. However, Monte Carlo is probably, I think it is one of, if not the longest serving F1 track on the actual calendar. So, make of that what you will. It is definitely a very, very historic track. And speaking of being a bit historic, we're riding on board of Eduk, who I believe back in Season 3 took pole position by, I think it was almost a second. Also in Division 3, as he's just come across the line, I've done a 109.3 as the first lap on the board. But, yeah, I mean, as I said, there's a bit of history, not only in actual F1, but also in LOE. The man in the Red Bull that we predicted to be sort of towards the top end of the standings, Car Mentalist, took the win in Division 2 in Season 3, and Eduk took the win in Division 3 in Season 3.
So we've got a few drivers who are in form here, and Eduk certainly carrying on exactly where he left off. And we've got TTD Jamin who's driven straight on at Mirabeau, where Rosberg infamously went off in 2014. Not sure what that's about. But yeah, as you were saying, I'd be very surprised if we see someone other than a wheel driver at the top, and especially with Eduk and Car Mentalist having form. It's hard to look past those guys, because when you love this track, you have to love this track to be good at it. You can't hate it, and it still comes to you. You've got to put in the time, and the only way you're going to find that flow, that rhythm that you need to weave your way through the barriers is if you love the track. And I'm not surprised that Eduk is the man on top so far.
Yeah, definitely, I love it off this track. Is the XL Finn, I suppose we could call him.
We've got Chill spun at the Nouvelle chicane there. I think he just clipped the inside barrier. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No problem at all. Just riding on board of Raleigh anyway. He just made his way across the line and put himself into P6, our current championship leader, by 2 points up ahead of XL Bree, who's just making his way into the pits. Bree last time out didn't actually end up scoring any points in Russia, which allowed Raleigh to go back into the lead of the championship. So a bit of back and forth going on between those two. And, well, not even just those two. Rudy is now 1 point behind Bree. So the top 3 are split by 3 points, which is, I'm pretty sure, is the closest that we've ever had between each other. And I'm not too sure what has gone on, but I think my PS4 has decided it wanted to disconnect. So I will be back with you guys in a very short space of a minute. So yeah, do bear with us. I'm not too sure what is going on, but yeah, do bear with. Right, apologies for that, everyone. I'm not too sure what exactly went on there. For some reason, my PS4 decided it wanted to disconnect me from, well, from PSN. No idea why. But yeah, at the moment we're currently back on board with Eduk, as I think a few people are now just coming around to start their second lap. Out of a possible probably 3, maybe even 4 if people have gone for the softer option around here. I mean, if anybody doesn't know the strategy by now, it's quite an easy sort of softer medium strategy, so I'll be surprised if, well, I will be and won't be surprised if we see a couple guys go on the hards. If they get like wing damage on like the first 2 laps, then they'll probably opt to go for the hards to the end of the race.
Definitely easy soft medium. The hards are an atrocious tyre. I can vouch for that. I did a full race near enough on a set, and they are awful. So if anyone goes for the hards after sort of lap 3, lap 4, then they're putting themselves at a significant disadvantage. Just on board with Eduk here, the amount of traffic he's had to contend with, even if it's getting out of the way, is obscene this lap, and he's backed right off. So I think it is incredibly distracting when you're trying to weave your way through the through corner by corner. It's literally non-stop corners here. When you've got cars in your eye line popping this way and that off the racing line, it's very tricky to gather yourself. But he is going for another lap. Who else have we got that's close to finishing? With yellow flags abound in this qualifying session so far. TTD Damon 8.5. That is a spicy lap. And Eduk's already invalid on his second attempt on this run.
Very unfortunate for the Finn, but yeah, Damon putting it on pole position so far, an 8.5, almost a second faster than any of his rivals. YYY is just making his way around the final corner now, as Tin Can going into second, just piping his teammate, as YYY goes up into 5th position, a 9.414 just behind Peter, 4 thousandths of a second, as Rudy, our third place man in the championship, goes 9 thousandths of a second faster than Tin Can, as I think a few guys are just sort of backing off because they're just trying to get some, get back to the pits. I suppose they've already done their laps. But the one that, again, Commentalist, another one that we were predicting that could do quite well. He is currently on a lap, making his way through the Nouvelle Chicane now and making his way up to the end of Sector 2. Is Commentalist going to be maybe in contention with his teammate? As I said, his teammate currently done 8.5 and it's looking like quite a nice lap so far for the Brit in the Red Bull. He's just making his way around now to the final corner as he makes his way up towards the line. Very, very shaky on the exit of the final corner, but Car Mentalist a 9.0, still 5 tenths of a second behind his teammate, but is still second place nonetheless.
So we've got a Red Bull 1-2 now. And Peter popped himself into 3rd as well. So we've just, last couple of minutes, those times have really tumbled, haven't they? Eduk's gone from 1st down to 6th in the space of, well, 1 run. And keep thinking cars have crashed as I see people pulling over to the side at 3 miles an hour. It's an awful track, this, if you get caught in the wrong spot with the car behind you on a lap. But yeah, that's a cracking lap. 2 Red Bulls, a real marker they've laid down there, especially Damon. He needs that. He's had a really, I don't want to say weak, but he's had a tepid start to the season. He needs a good result here, and there'll be no better track for him to get it than Monaco.
Yeah, without a doubt, as just round on board with the 2 racing points of Brie and Miami, both improving on their times. 4th for Brie, 7th for Miami. I mean, these racing points need a decent result, without a doubt. I'll be surprised if they don't. But they definitely need a decent result for tonight, as Sofian is also, I believe, on a lap. It does say he's in 0 ERS though, so I'm not too sure if he is. Jarry, a returning face, I think he's actually now making his debut for the season. I could be wrong. I think replacing Caesar this weekend. Other than, of course, in the pre-season races, I think this is Jarry's first actual race this season.
He came 11th at Canada. So it's actually his 2nd appearance, but I don't blame Caesar not racing Monaco. Who wants to race Monaco? I'm shocked we've got all 20 drivers, to be honest, but there we are.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, as actually just riding on board with Sophie, and he's making his way up towards the line. I think actually going to be starting a proper lap now. He did improve on his time though, but I think this is where he's starting a proper lap. No, he's not. He has actually fully backed off.
Immediately backed out. Who's disappointing so far? You have to say old school.
I was just about to say, yeah, I was just about to say Mark for sure. Probably last week's race winner. yeah, Raleigh, RJ. I would expect these guys to be a little bit higher than where they are at the moment. Um, I'm gonna go out on a limb and also say maybe Luke. I mean, he's been sort of mid to top pack for the first 4 races. I know Monaco is like it's a completely different circuit to what we've driven over the last 4 races. But I mean, Luke, I would have expected him to maybe sort of be still in that mid pack around maybe where the two fins of Vidoc and YY are. I would have thought that they'd be sort of around that point, but just at the moment, I'm assuming he's going to be coming out. Well, he is out at the moment, gearing himself up to do another lap as Tim Mats puts himself and does the exact same time as Educ and putting him into P8 as Educ is actually still on a lap. And through Sector 1, he was 300ths of a second up on his time.
And he's a 10th up after Sector 2. He's just got to keep it nice and controlled through the end of the lap.
Ooh.
A little bit deep into Raskas, you don't need that, but he clips the inside curve nicely, avoids the one on the outside. Short run to the line, he's run out of Urs across, but an 8.9 second man into the PT3, great lap.
I think that could have been a bit better, for sure. As you were saying, go through Raskas, he actually put it into neutral, so that would slowed him down even more. So, not something you want to be doing. I'm assuming Educ is probably going to try and go for one more lap. Not at the moment, but probably will go next time around as Rudy. As I said, our third place man currently on a lap, making his way up towards a Nouvelle chicane now, just making sure you've got to take that as tight as possible, but not invalidating, and he manages to do that very, very nicely. Tim Mat's just sort of staying out of the way now as Rudy making his way around the circuit, and it's sort of wall. He has got in that wing damage, but he is purple. Still 3 tenths up on his time. I still think he's going to go for it, is the Dutchman. Mal making his way around Raskas and coming up towards the final corner is the one in the McLaren. Now coming around the final corner. Very, very shifty going through there, and I don't think it's going to be an improvement for Rudy. It definitely isn't, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get back into the pits in time to get himself back out of there, as Peter is now also on a lap, making his way through the swimming pool section. I don't think it's an improvement at the moment. I think he's about 2 tenths down on his time, but the Dutchman, he does put himself into the pits.
So I think what we've got to see here is everyone's now on an in lap or in the pits, and a big crash for Luke into Casino Square. He had a huge bump, caught the inside curb, and it speared the car off into the left-hand wall. And well, he's lucky if he has time to get back to the pits now. He's completely missing a front wing. But I was just going to say, everyone's in the pits now, heading out onto a lap or on an in lap. So we're going to see a deluge of cars coming out in the last 2-3 minutes. And if anyone comes out too late and just catches the traffic starting their laps, or comes up too early I should say, catches the traffic starting their laps as they're finishing their hot lap, we could see a mess here through Sector 3. I'm a little bit scared for what we're going to see.
I wouldn't want to be calm into this because he's just starting his lap now. He's going to be one of the first ones to get their laps done. RJ, I think, is the other one, as Luke's actually binned it just after the Nouvelle chicane. So Luke, as the best he's going to get is P14. Hopefully it doesn't hinder anybody on their laps. But as I said, comment this, our season 3 winner in D2. He is half a tenth up on his time now as he makes his way around the hairpin, the casino hairpin. Very, very, well, probably the tightest corner probably on the calendar period. So he's taken that one very, very nicely as he's now making his way up to the tunnel section. Again, probably one of the faster parts of the track, as well as the start-finish straight. Now making his way up towards the Nouvelle chicane again, trying to take this as tight as you can without hitting that inside barrier. Did exactly that. Massive slide though coming out of the Nouvelle chicane, and he's actually backed off of that lap. I think he was definitely up on it, but unfortunately for him, you were saying about the traffic, I think he's going to get caught up in this traffic.
Yeah, if he's slowing down to go again, he's going to find himself in a world of pain that comes Sector 3. If those guys on an outlap aren't going to speed up, but he's coming to the pits, so I think he's bailed on that, and he's committing himself to third at best.
Very unfortunate.
Miami's on a lap, Damon's right in his way into Mirabeau, and now he's got Chill in his way through the hairpin into Portier and Beau Rivage.
It's not a place
to look at.
That's not a place you want to be letting anyone through, because you want to try and use as much of that track as possible, and that might have cost Miami just a little bit of time. It's just again, it's such a tight circuit, like no fault of Chill or Miami. It's just it's such a tight circuit to let anyone through. You just don't know where to. In reality, it's just very, very tight as Miami making his way through the swimming pool section now and coming up towards Raskas, keeping it nice and tight, going straight back up into third gear, now coming around the final corner in the Racing Point. Miami, is he going to be in the 8? Is it not too sure if he will? No, he won't. It's actually a 9.406 and that is down on his time, and that is the best he's going to get. Car Mentalist, that is the best he is going to get, and I think Miami's actually going for another run. Bree making his way up towards the line now as we're going to have a load of more people start to finish their laps. Bree didn't end up improving. I think actually now going for a lap on his run, and I think a couple more people making their way up towards the line. White Try is just going to be starting a lap. Rudy, I think, has just tried to he's now starting a lap as well. So everyone, or majority of people, are on laps.
Big spin for Educ coming out of the Nouvelle Chicane. He can clip the inside barrier, completely swung it round. He's allowed to do a 180-degree turn. I'm not sure how he managed to get so far down the track backwards, but he did. His teammate's not faring too well either, was immediately invalid. He's now going to run out of time to start a new lap. So Williams are not going to improve here. What about Bree? He's gone for a second lap on this set of tyres. He's nice and tight through the Nouvelle Chicane. That's a really nice line. There's a little bit of damage off the left hand side. He flick it into the back fifth gear, but that's a little bit timid. But he's up on his time by 700ths of a second. Can he find any improvement? It looks like he's backed off actually to me through those last few corners, or perhaps it's just so smooth it looks like no, he has backed off as he comes into the pits. So no one seeming to improve on their last laps.
I don't know, we've still got a few more people that are trying to improve. Damon's one of them. He's making his way up towards the line. Does he improve on his time? No, he doesn't. He goes 0.05 of a second slower as Vapor Trench jumps up into P5. Rudy jumps up into P2, up ahead of Educ. The other McLaren of White Try doesn't end up improving, keeping it into P13. What about Old School? He's making his way up towards the line now. Mark goes up into P6 with a 109.1. And I believe the only person that we've really got left to do a lap is Jarry, as he's making his way around now the final corner. Jarry said he was 6 tenths up on his time. I think he would have been quite a bit up there, to be honest with you, but he's just backing off, making sure he stays in that bottom lot. As Peter, I don't think actually, he did improve on his lap time, but stayed in the same position. But that means that is Damon's first pole position since I don't even know if he actually got one last season when he had done a few races in Division 3. I don't think he did. So I think this is Damon's first pole position, I think, since Season 3.
You may well be right, but let's quickly run through the order. So on pole is TTG Damon, his first pole of the season. Rudy in second, Educ third, Car Mentalist fourth, Vapor Trench fifth. Old School sneaking up into sixth at the end. Peter might be disappointed in seventh. Bree definitely be disappointed in eighth. Tin Can ninth. Raleigh championship leader in 10th. Miami 11th. Poor man's pole, as you say, J. Cole. Tim Matz 12th. YHYY 13th. Jerome 14th. Jarry in 15th, qualified on mediums. Perhaps that's what he backed off at the end there. Luke, who retired in 16th. Sofian 17th. RJ 18th. Chill 19th. And Cam K 20th, who did not set a representative lap time.
Yeah, I just saw at the end. Yeah, I've just seen it sort of towards the end. He would have been, he was just going very, very slow over the line. As Jarry in the chat says, oh damn, would have been P4. So I knew he was on for a very, very good lap. I saw he was about 6.5 tenths up on his time from his medium runner's time. Jarry, again, he's one of those ones that will always just start outside of the top 10 and just see what he can do. Around Monaco, it's not the smartest thing to do. But I've seen Jarry do it before, and I'm sure we'll see him do it tonight. I'm actually putting him as maybe one of the podium sitters, and that is an absolute bold claim. But I think he could get on there. I think it's going to be Damon, Rudy, and Jarry. I think it's going to be a full Dutchman, a full Dutch podium for tonight. And I think Rudy's going to start to take this championship lead, because this is a massive, massive opportunity for him.
You're absolutely right. It's a gutsy call. I'd say Jarry on the podium from 15th at Monaco, but you're absolutely right. I would not put it past this race and this division, especially with the amount of safety cars and wing damage and wing changes we are no doubt going to see. I'm going to say Rudy for the win, actually. I think he's on an upward trajectory. Every single race he's done so far, he's improved on the last one. He's gone like 7th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd or something like that, so he's due for a win. I'm going to say Educ second, and I'm going to say Car Mentalist third, and perhaps Jarry maybe 4th or 5th. I don't think he'll quite stretch to the podium. And just the precedent we've seen Damon set this season for himself, I'm not sure he'll be able to hold on to that lead, but I hope I'm proven wrong.
I guess we'll wait and see. Yeah, I mean, as you said, Damon's not exactly had the good start to a season. I think, let me just pull up the standings really quickly because I did just have them up. Yeah, Damon, he hasn't scored any points whatsoever. He got 0 points in Austria, 0 points in Britain, didn't end up finishing in Canada, didn't start in Russia. So Damon looking for a bit of a bounce back for, well, I suppose his season really sort of starts now. On pole position, his best opportunity of getting himself a decent amount of points, even possibly a win. Rudy, again, this is another massive opportunity for him because his two title rivals, Brie and Raleigh, are starting in 8th and 10th. So, and Mark is the only one that could be remotely close. He's on 37 points in 4th position, and he's starting in 6th. So, Rudy, really, all he's got to do is just keep it as clean as he possibly can. And then that's really him, his championship sort of soaring at that point. But I suppose, no offence, I suppose the words clean with that, with Rudy, don't particularly match up in Mark's eyes. So, especially around Monaco, I think this could be a very, very interesting race.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
So let's have a look as we are just waiting for these 5 red lights to come on. Here we go. You see the 3, the 4, the 5 red lights for round 5 of Division 3. It is lights out and away we go. Damon getting a very good start. Carmentalist also getting a pretty good start. Same with Edok. Edok covering off Carmentalist. As wing damage for Damon. Rudy into the lead of the race. Carmentalist sweeping up into 2nd position. And I believe Edok is the one that has managed to hold... Damon has managed to hold 3rd, but getting under pressure from... I believe that is Vapor Trench. I've got a massive timing glitch on my screen as Edok now trying to get a bit of pressure onto Damon now as Edok getting that move back done on Trench. Again, I'm really sorry, there's a massive timing glitch on my screen. There you go, it's now sorted itself out. Rudy managing to get away very cleanly into 1st position. Carmentalist jumping up ahead of his teammate, up ahead of Edok as well into 2nd position as Damon now into 3rd as there are yellow flags. I think it's because of how slow everyone is going through that hairpin as Jarry down into 16th position, battling with Sofia now going through, and very, very close between these guys making their way up towards the tunnel as Sofian on those hard tyres is down into 17th position as YYY I think just lagging a little bit as Luke getting past him. But yeah, I mean, well, the top 3's already broken away.
Rudy and the 2 Red Bulls will be counting their lucky stars. Edok has huge left side wing damage, and if he's not pitting lap 1, which he isn't, oh no he is, but it's given the front 3 the impetus to break away, and it's Vapor Trench is now up to 4th, but he's already a couple of seconds down. So that damage for Edok, I think he got squeezed by Damon on the exit at turn 1 in Sandoval. He just caught that outside barrier, and it's given him wing damage. It's plummeted him into last. He's going to go onto the hard tyres and run to the end, but it's given the top 3 a 2-second breakaway lead, which at Monaco is precious. They can relax, they can look after those tyres and just control the pace and not pick up any wing damage themselves.
Yeah, those top 3, they're going to be, as you said, they're going to be just... Well, I think it's an actual blessing in disguise. I thought Damon was the one that had damage. It turns out it was Edok. I thought Damon ended up picking it up, and that's why he lost 2 positions at the start. Carmentalist, I can't see any damage. Rudy, well, he got past Damon at the start, so no wing damage to Rudy's name either. But he is now coming under pressure from Season 3's winner in Division 2, Carmentalist, putting a lot of pressure onto Rudy in these opening stages of Round 5. And I believe Carmentalist, well... As I said, he wants this charge, he wants this Monaco win. He's been excited for this all week, and it's now led to this moment. Is Carmentalist going to be able to pick up his first win in Division 3 for this evening, of course, other than the pre-season races? Meanwhile, a little bit further down, a few of the guys that I wasn't expecting to be down there, the likes of Bree, the likes of Miami Tin Can, even Raleigh as well, all of those guys still 7th down to 10th, and they're starting to lose touch with Peter and Old School, as Vapor Trench is actually starting to catch back up to these guys.
We've got really big field spread because we're only on lap 3. Sofian's now 3.4 seconds adrift from Jarry in 14th. Those hards, he's either got wing damage, but I can't see any, or those hards just not working. I said they're an awful tyre. Chill having a look into Casino, but he's going to kill the race of those behind him, and indeed he lets Chill go, it looked like. I wonder if he's going to do the same for those behind. Maybe he has got damage, but yeah, we've got a huge field spread already. Just a few cars in DRS. And we're already on, only on lap 3.
Yeah, as you say, a massive field spread. Obviously, it's the top 3, then it's the next 3, then it's the next 3, and then it's well, it just sort of a bit of a split going down from there, from up until Chill, and then down all the way to those guys as well as Eduk, Yurun and White Wai, who've all pit on lap 1 as Chill. As I was saying about Chill, I'm very, very sorry because I think they've just given him a little bit of a commentator's curse. He's gone round at the Nouvelle Chicane. I'm assuming he may have touched the inside curb. Oh, the inside barrier, sorry, which has then just sort of spun him around. So very unfortunate for the Haas, who's now down into 17th position as riding on board with Peter in P6. Mark's starting to lose a bit of touch to Vapor Trench actually, so this is going to allow Peter to now just keep behind the Haas, and maybe, just maybe, if he plays his cards right, he can maybe get a move done on the Haas driver as RJ and Sofian also just going a bit back and forth, leading up in towards the casino.
Sofian let him through as he did for Chill, so I'm wondering, he must have damage to be deliberately letting cars through, I'm not sure, but that mistake from Chill, of course, reset that train, put Sofian back at the front of the gap from RJ, last week's race winner, to Jarian 13th, already 6.4 seconds, that's a staggering amount to drop back. Big gains for Raleigh though on the start, just want to mention him. Up into 7th, up 3 places, ahead of his title rival Bree in the process. So he's had a very good start, and he's running nicely there in 7th place with about a second gap behind. My time in Tower is not working at all at the moment, but yeah, nice start for our championship leader.
Yeah, no, definitely a very good start for Raleigh, and hopefully he's going to be able to make up a bit more places. He's 1.3 seconds behind this little gap of Old School and Peter. And look at Trench, 1.3 seconds now just behind the 2 Red Bulls, or behind Damon at least. He's gotten that gap to Mark. He's starting to close up to those top 3. I'm assuming we may start to see a couple of pit stops very, very shortly. Whether it's this lap, whether it's in a couple of laps' time, I'm not honestly too sure. As Bree, again, like you said, he's the championship contender of Raleigh. Both of these guys are 7th and 8th, whereas Rudy's in 1st. Again, massive points gain on for those guys, as there are yellow flags. I'm not too sure who that was, because it doesn't look as if anyone's gained or lost any time.
I think it was Sofian. He either made a mistake or he was letting more cars go, because Chill and Camke are now ahead of him. Yeah, just you touched on, big mistake for Jerome Visser through turn 2, and YHYY nabs that place, but Jerome's going to try and send it back into Mirabeau, and they bump wheels again into the hairpin. It's a scrap for 19th and 20th, but they don't care, and big damage for Jerome Visser.
It's Monaco.
He doesn't need to pit again.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got pitters. Raleigh in, Bree in, Tin Can in, the first of our leading group to come in. They're all switching to mediums. It looks like a straight race between Tin Can and Bree. I wonder if Tin Can's actually going to jump Bree in the pits here.
Let's have a look. No, he has not.
That prediction was very short-lived. And I said Raleigh had got ahead of Bree. He's now behind him. Did Raleigh have damage, possibly?
I wouldn't. He might have done, to be fair. That might have been why he ended up hitting. But interestingly enough, Eduk, by the way, has come out ahead of Bree, and Eduk, of course, isn't going to need to make another pit stop because he made that pit stop on lap 1. So Eduk, technically speaking, is our net race leader, which is odd to say considering that he had damage on lap 1 and ended up pitting. Excuse me. So
I think the top few are going to overcut him though, so I think what we could see is a split of the top 5, 6, and then where Bree was. We're going to see those 6 break away, and then another train stuck behind Eduk, because we know how slow these hards can be. So if no one can get past Eduk, we're going to see the top 6 run away, I think, and everyone else just sit behind him.
Yeah, no, we certainly will. And of course, around this track, it's not easy to overtake. I'm sure a lot of you can probably guess that. Along with that, though, your ERS. Now, this is where it gets a bit interesting, because I'm currently riding on board with Peter, as he's literally only 2/10 a second behind Mark. Mark, when you see that little red flashing light, that means that he is below 10% ERS. And around this track, I can tell you now, you can barely gain anything back from it. So, at the moment, Mark under a bit of pressure from Peter, as Peter's on 37% of his ERS still left to play with. I think Peter really has got a bit of a massive advantage on the on the Haas just in front of him. Again, it's just finding a place to try and overtake him.
I think Mark is suffering a bit on these tyres. He's not enjoying it. I'm surprised he's not come in earlier. I thought he would have been clued up to we know how bold he likes to be on strategy. I'm surprised he's not come in early for either hards and YOLO'd it, or gone for mediums a little earlier than he has. And if anyone else stays out longer than lap 7, which our top 2 do, I would be floored.
In fact,
I am floored because everyone apart from Damon is staying out, and I'm not sure why. They're being saved. They don't know it, but they're being saved by Educk holding Bree and Tin Can and Raleigh up. But were it not for that fact, they would be losing out big time here as RJ... Oh, that's just passing Damon in the pits there.
Yeah, and Jarry's still very
Damon
close to the
on
back
hards.
as well. Oh, he is. Why has he got onto them?
Educk, though.
Let's have a look. There's Educk coming around turn 1. There is Damon right onto the racing line.
Educk smacked into the barrier. I think he got excited. Smacked into the barrier like he did lap 1, exit of turn 1. He's got damage now, and if Bree saw that, Bree will be screaming his way behind him trying to get past, because now that is he's literally going to be killing Bree's race corner by corner here, and the same for Tin Can and the same for Raleigh when he catches up. I said Bree was going to be a bit of a bottleneck. He's turned himself into a massive one here with that wing damage now.
Yeah, Bree is doing well. I suppose we'll wait and see where Bree is going to maybe try and go for a move on Educk again. Not very easy to overtake around here. I don't know if it's going to be the case that Educk's just going to make a pit stop again for a set of mediums or what. I'm not too sure, as actually Mark has made his way into the pits. However, the top 4 still have not come into the pits, and you can really start to see how much it's now hurting them. As look at the top 2, they are still 2.5 seconds, in fact 3 seconds now up ahead of Trench, and Peter is losing time massively to Trench as well, nearly 3 seconds splitting them. So Trench in his own race of his own at the moment. The top, even then, the top 4, they really are just hurting themselves by staying out. Miami is now starting to catch up to these guys, and he started on these medium tyres, and he's currently the front leading medium runner.
You can see how slow Peter is in the braking zones on traction. Miami is all over the back of him, like chicken pox on a 3-year-old. That was a terrible metaphor, but there we go. Yeah, and I can't see, apart from Bree and Tin Can, who went for those softs, went for mediums on lap 5 it was, but are now being compromised by Educk. No one's gone for the optimum strategy here, and it boggles me a little bit, because Rudy comes in, Carmentless staying out, Vapor Trench also coming in, Peter coming in, finally they're coming in. But Carmentless staying out, that's a peculiar one, unless he's goal hanging for a safety car, but when you're at the front, that isn't...
That's a bold, that's bold.
Race, is it?
Yeah, without a doubt. It is bold if it is done. Vapor Trench going on a set of hards as well. I don't know why these guys are going on a set of hards. Mark, to be fair, could get a bit of a jump on here as Cam K is the one that's just in front of him. He's going to have to back out though because of the people coming out of the pits. Mark then sweeps around the outside, getting a move done on Cam K and now getting that move done on Vapor Trench. Mark now, he's got about 2.5 seconds to catch up to Rudy, which means that Mark's also got on the jump on Bree. Mark and Rudy could really well, we could be seeing, and Damon as well, we could be seeing all of these guys. Well, it's going to be, I suppose, what was it? Number 3, number 4 between Rudy and Mark?
Part 60, I think, just for this season. But either getting out of the way or getting past, definitely got out of the way of Tin Can. I think he got passed by Bree to turn 2. So Bree and Tin Can have now been released. They've not been compromised perhaps as much as they might have been, but it's going to hurt Raleigh. Raleigh right and Peter all over the back of Educk. Is Raleigh going to send it into Nouvelle Chicane? He does. Educk squeezes him. I think Educk probably should let that one go. There was no way he was going to keep that going.
Oh, Peter tried to do it. Peter. No, it is not. Peter tried to go for it, and it just did not work, as Mark is the one that has set the fastest lap of the race so far. Carmentless into the pits, now coming out of the pits actually. He's actually come out just up ahead of Mark, so Rudy, massive jump on Carmentless. Rudy will maintain that race lead and is now 2.5 seconds up ahead of Carmentless. What one lap undercut can do, well, that's shown it. Literally was 2 seconds.
Huge lead for Rudy, that is massive, and because Carmentless is going to have to use up some of his tyres now trying to get past, and in the process he's going to have to drive very defensively and make sure that Mark doesn't get through. Mark's gained massively in this pit stop phase. Where was he? 6th, now net 3rd. Huge
Yeah,
gains.
yeah. So Mark, that has absolutely played into his hands. Of course, we can't forget about all of the guys that started on a set of the mediums. Of course, they are going to get undercut by the guys that are now that have already made their stop, but they will be on softs towards the end of the race. So they may be trying to look for a little bit of a late charge. It was kind of done in PC yesterday, so I guess we'll see if it happens again tonight. As Jarry actually is coming to the pits. Has he got wing damage?
And
Yes, he does.
But he's going from mediums to mediums. He's committing to a 2-stop. Very strange. But I'd say he's counting on a safety car, but as we've not seen one yet, it's a bit of a bold call to assume we will see one, because there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
So, where are interesting battles right now? We've got a Sofian train. Sofian's still on those hards that he was letting people through on, not pitted yet. Bree and Tin Can have now got part. Oh, and Sofian up to his old tricks and letting everybody through. And as much as he might be on old tyres, that is not something you really want to see on a racetrack. Drivers deliberately letting their rivals through. Or maybe I'm alone in that one, but I think Sofian should have kept them behind for as long as he could. It's racing.
Yeah, at that point, it's just there isn't any sort of point. As Damon very, very close to the back of Camcade, just giving him a slight little nudge. The American just managing to hold up into P9 at the moment. 11 lap old medium tyres. I think the one at the back of this train on the medium tyres, one that's still yet to make a pit stop as well. And Camcade, well, I mean, I think the guys in front of him are probably are just very happy that he's being held up as much as Carmentalist. Fastest lap of the race now, 1.5 seconds separates him and Rudy, as Rudy's starting to catch up to now the other medium runners that started on those mediums. But Carmentalist, I think he's catching up even faster, and it might be the case Rudy may need to keep an eye on his back rather than looking in front.
And that Mark is dropping back massively from those couple of drivers as well, and he's slipping into the clutches of Vapor Trench. He's benefited greatly from the pit stops, old school, but he's exposing himself here. He doesn't have great pace, and he's lucked his way, well, not lucked his way, strategied his way into 3rd, as it were. But yeah, he looks like he's struggling a bit. Doesn't look too comfortable. He's fallen back by a couple of seconds since he came out of pits. Because he was right behind Mark, if you remember. And now he's 3 seconds adrift. He's dropping back by a lot. I'm wondering if he's got wing damage actually, for him to be that slow, because we know how quick he is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it is the... I could be wrong. It doesn't look like he's got any sort of wing damage on the front of his car as Peter picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. It doesn't look as if he has any sort of wing damage. I think it's just a case where I suppose Mark and Monaco don't mix. I think it's just more the case that, to be fair, Mark he's pulled off an absolute blunder of a strategy. He's just got to make sure that he stays where he is, and from the looks of things, he might end up getting a bit of help from his teammate, as his teammate is just up behind him. We could be seeing a resemblance of, what was it, Silverstone as well in round 2, where I think Chill was giving Mark as much DRS as possible.
I think that was Austria actually on the safety car. I remember Chill giving Mark DRS, and then Austria. Mark went a lap down on that last lap safety car to benefit Chill, I think, didn't he? But we've got a huge Cam K train going on, it seems.
I was just about to say, all aboard the American Express.
Yeah. And we've got those front 4 drivers, Rudy, Carmentalist, Old School, Vapor. Now in a race of their own very much. If you look at the mini-map, you can just see how far apart Vapor Trench and Cam K are, and it's growing by seconds per lap right now.
Yeah, I think Cam K's just doing well. He's absolutely helping out everyone that still has yet to make a pit stop. Those guys that are on those mediums at the front, first down to 4th. Cam K's really doing an absolute job of helping them out, as Peter, trying to maybe sweep around the outside of Raskas on Raleigh, has had to back off from that though. That would have been absolute. That would have been an absolute stunner if he pulled it off, but. Well, he didn't end up managing to do so, as Rudy's also now caught up to these guys. And Carmentalist, look at him, he's now caught himself back up to the back of Rudy.
I was just about to say, I'll come back to that, but I'll tell you what. Miami and Tim Mats have overcut Damon, Bree, Tin Can, Raleigh here. It's 18 seconds for a stop. Cam K, 24 seconds off the lead and growing corner by corner. So those guys are medium. I thought it was the wrong way to go. But they've actually catapulted themselves ahead of those guys starting ahead of them. And Damon, that's a suicidal strategy as it turned out for him going onto those hards. He's been stuck behind car after car. And he's going to end up, I think, well, is he going to gain anything actually? Because Luke and RJ could go past him at this rate if Kamke keeps being this slow. And he just tapped the wall there. Has he got any more damage? That's a corner cut as well. He has got damage. Big damage for Damon. And he's now got a penalty. But damage on that right front end plate.
Oh, Bree. Oh, he's actually just hit Bree into the pits.
Oh, if you're going to do that, Damon, you've got to slow down. You've got to let the other car go. Give them the room. They don't know you're coming into the pits. Be sensible. And did Bree get any damage in that? It doesn't look like, not visible damage. You could have light green, but it was naughty driving from Damon there. If you're going to go into the pits, you've got to let that go. And the Pole Sitters race is in shreds, I think.
Yeah, that's well, yeah. Damon's race, I'd definitely say, is out of the window. I think that's also my podium prediction out of the window. Is Rudy now going down the inside of RJ in towards the Nouveau chicane. A little bit of a tap from him there as Peter, another 3-second time penalty. Rudy getting that move done, and that was a crucial move because Car Mentalist is now stuck behind RJ, and Rudy is now put a gap, but he's put a car between them. So he's just going to get away. That's all Rudy needs to do is just get away. And look at that, already 9/10 of a second.
I wonder how much Car Mentalist wants to win this race if he's going to send it, but RJ comes to his rescue by diving into the pits, as does Luke. These guys going from medium to hard. That is not the ideal strategy, boys. But they should have. They might have seen. They wouldn't have seen, but they were gaining that gap to Kamke. If they'd stayed out a few more laps, they may well have had a pit stop in hand. But I think Luke is going to come out just behind Kamke. Tin Can here. If you'd stayed out, man, you would have overcut them. And now he's stuck behind Tin Can and Kamke, and the train grows.
Interestingly enough, RJ actually didn't come out of his pit box for a long while. I don't know if he didn't mean to put on the hard tyres, but softs would not have lasted 22 laps, so I don't know what... I'm not too sure what just sort of went on there. Jarry all over the back of Raleigh coming into the hairpin, but... Again, Jarry's still another one that needs to make a pit stop. There's so many people that need to make stops. It's just going to be... I don't know who... Realistically, who is where. I really don't know.
Miami and Tim Matt's playing blind here, because I tell you what, with Kamke doing bits for them in 7th place, that gap still growing over a second a lap between Miami and Kamke. Miami's going to come out in 5th here. Tim Matt's in 6th, and they were nowhere near there before anyone made a stop. So... they've pulled a strategic blinder there, such is Kamke's pace. Tin Can, Luke, who have that strategy blunder by coming in when he did. Bree, Raleigh, Jarry, none of them are going to be anywhere near these guys, Miami and Tin Mats, when they come out.
Yeah, I'm to be honest, at this minute, I'm lost for words, as you can tell. Kamke really is just doing a massive help.
Big mistake for Rudy coming out of Portier. Car Mentalist side by side through the tunnel. Is Rudy going to try to squeeze in, but Car Mentalist has the inside line. They bump wheels. And,
Oh, still a bit of contact there. The Car Mentalist not going down the inside of Rudy. Coming in towards the end of Sector 2 now as well. And got that move done in the end. Car Mentalist, give yourself a pat on the back for that move. He had to get that one done and made sure he got himself in front. Rudy gave him a bit of a squeeze, but he found the gap. He got that move done, and Mark is now also coming up to the back of these guys as Rudy, look how close he is now to the back of well, he's still keeping up to the back of Car Mentalist, but Mark, he's now caught up with these two guys.
Rudy squeezed Car Mentalist with an inch of his life, but he kept it clean, he kept it fair. But one mistake out of Portier, that's all it took. And Car Mentalist was all over the back of that McLaren. Once he had the inside line, you knew he was taking that chance. And he squeezed it through as I see RJ passing Sofian. Is that Sofian letting another car through? Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think it was letting him, I think it was RJ through from the looks of things.
YHYY in the pits, I do apologise. I'm not going to be a very good commentator because my camera views are all messed up. Whenever I go on board with someone, it's on board with the wrong car. So if I'm slow to spot anything, I do apologise for that.
No, that's fine, no problem at all. The only thing that's really of my concern at the moment is really just the CamK train, the American Express train, as I'd like to call it. He's doing God's work with holding them out.
Is out of.
Yeah, so this is really
He's
now
out.
where Tin Can's going to need to start getting a bit of time up further on the board.
He needs to find 10 seconds on Miami though to stay ahead of the racing point. I don't think that's going to happen. Miami and Timmats have got 5th and 6th place in pocket here, and they're going to be on those softs as well. They could yet catch up, because at this rate they're only going to come out, well, in Miami's case, 4 seconds behind Trench.
And Trench being on hard tyres.
If they can sneak away through, there's no reason why these guys can't try and find the podium, particularly if the more shenanigans go on involving the top few, because Rudy looks like he's struggling a little bit, and Mark as well. We've seen that their pace isn't the best, even if they're in clean air. So I think it's for the taking for Miami and Timmats. They can get on the podium here, definitely.
For sure, and well, again, it's just a point of where he makes the pit stop, and yeah, okay, I can't speak for today for some unknown reason. Yeah, Tim Matt's making his way into the pits, and you can see that those are actually white tyres. He's putting on the hards.
He must have picked. The damage must have been severe for him to come in and put hard. Surely he knew he could go on to soft, seeing people do soft medium behind him, but. That's very strange. Is he going to come out ahead of Tin Can though with that front wing change? And he is
massively,
comfortably. CamK has done absolute wonders for Miami and Timmats, and that train is getting ever.
Oh, VSC!
Virtual safety car.
Where's that come from then?
I wonder if someone just picked up damage somewhere, and the game thought chuck a VSC on that. We've got Pete.
Yeah, Eduk.
He's going to mediums. Eduk's out. Yeah.
He had no front wing coming into the pits. Peter, I think, also getting his wing changed. Must have been a collision between the two of those guys. I'm not too sure what had happened with them, but yeah.
Is Miami going to come in and go hard? So that's the question.
It wouldn't be worth it. It would not be worth it. I would, no. Yeah. If I was him, I would stay out, just making sure that he gets himself to those soft tyres. As Trench a drive-through under the virtual safety car. So Trench is now, well, that's his race completely out of the water. Timmats is now going to get the jump on him.
And that means 4th place for Miami.
And that's at least.
Yeah. And is Trench going to come out? It's going to be close with Tin Can, isn't it?
I think Tin Can's got the jump on him.
Tin Can has, and Trench slow on those hards, so getting past CamK was huge for Tin Can. It's got not just that place, but Trench as well. So, but Bree, Raleigh and Jarry looking like they almost went side by side into turn 3. Raleigh just held that one off, but yeah, no way through for Bree, no way through for anyone in this little train apart from Tin Can. So.
He's just looking like CamK is just sort of controlling the pace of all these guys that have already made their pit stops a bit too early. And I can't lie, he's doing a very good job of it, because then it's allowing all the other guys up ahead of him to just maybe make a free pit stop. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing Miami come in either this lap or on the next lap, because I'm sure the softs then can go to the end. Commentalist, by the way, I just want to say he's pulled out of the DRS of Rudy, so he's now gotten that gap to Rudy, and now Commentalist will be our net race leader. He's starting to catch up to Miami relatively quickly now. I think the gap before was about 5.6 seconds. That was 2 laps ago. It's now 2.5 seconds. He's literally dropped it by about 3 seconds in 2 laps.
And hallelujah, CamK Nom 153 is into the pits. No change of front wing, or is there a change of front wing? I can't. No change of front wing. Onto the hards. Not sure why he's done that. I'm questioning a lot of strategy calls today in D3. Sort yourselves out next week. So he goes to hards, and Bree and Raleigh and Jarry, RJ are all released, but at tremendous cost, you have to say. When we first saw that train, the gap between Cam K and Miami was something like 20 seconds. It's now 33 between Brie and Miami. And I say it's 18 for a pit stop, so you can see there that the gain that Cam K has made for Miami in this race.
Yeah, Miami's still opting just to stay out. Car Mental is now 1.4 seconds behind Miami. Miami's really going to have to start thinking about making a way in the pits. It's got to be this lap. He's got to make his way, surely. He's done well preserving his ERS, to be fair to him. But Car Mentalist, as soon as he's going to get the opportunity of that DRS, gets the whiff of that DRS, that's going to be him straight past Miami.
I wonder if Miami might even let Car Mentalist go, because he'll be able to see the gap to Tim Mats on his screen. That's the only thing that really matters to him right now. So long as that gap stays above 20 seconds, he's comfortably got a pit stop in hand, and Car Mentalist is going for it in the Nouvelle Chicane, or not. Perhaps wisely backs out of it. He doesn't need that fight. He's got this win in hand. But a big mistake from Miami on the exit. And again, Car Mentalist backs out, thinks, I don't need this fight, he's just got to keep Rudy behind. But of course, the longer this goes on, the closer Rudy is going to get.
Yeah, Car Mentalist needs to get past ASAP. Miami, it's surely got to be this lap. It's surely. You've seen he's been sliding around everywhere. He's still staying out. All of this time now is just going to be costing him. Car Mentalist, a massive wobble coming out of the final corner, but Car Mentalist is going to go for the move straight down the inside of Miami, going in towards turn one. Miami's going to try and hold it around the outside. A little bit of contact between the pair of them. Miami, Car Mentalist, this is just a bit of bumping going on between the pair of them. They're going side by side up towards the casino, still going side by side of each other. Miami manages to hold on. Oh my goodness. Coming up towards the casino, and especially with a little bit of wall bump in between them. Miami, a very good defending, but this is costing him time. 20 seconds now splits him and Tim Mats. Miami needs to make this pit stop, otherwise that's going to be done. And there's a safety car, so that's really helped Miami.
I think we're going to see everyone pile in, so I think Miami has just found himself in the net lead of this race. But on that bump wheeling, bump cars through San Devot, that was a fight that neither driver needed, but both was desperate to win for some reason. They were at it with each other there, but if Car Mentalist, Rudy, Old School, I wonder if... What would you do, J. Cole? Would you pit if you're in Car Mentalist or Rudy or Old School position? I think Old School will stay out. He knows he's slowing these guys.
You've got to make a pit stop, because look at the gap between yourself and Tim Mats. It's 22 seconds between Old School and Tim Mats. If you make that pit stop, you've still got the advantage. You've got a tyre advantage. Miami comes in, smart move.
Car Mentalist out.
Rudy out. Old School out. Old School in. So there you go. You've got to have the tyre advantage. And
Old School had the advantage there of seeing Car Mentalist and Rudy stay out, so he can just say if he doesn't lose anything by pitting now. So
yeah.
If he
it's come on the mediums though.
I wonder if he's got no softs left from quality, and he's got making a front wing change as well. The softs drop off at such a rate though, 13 laps, even if it's doable. I'm not sure it's quick. So Miami's now third. Old School is Tin Can is going to.
So
Tin Can and Luke are going to take this.
Brie.
Luke staying out on hards. I suppose at Monaco track position is king. Without that front wing change, Old School would have been fourth. So I wonder if perhaps he should have set that to not change. Would have benefited him more. But very strange calls all around. I'm surprised Car Mentalist and Rudy stayed out as they did, because they've now got a very feisty Miami right behind them on soft tyres.
Yeah. This is where it's going to start being a bit spicier towards the end of this race now. Again, this is an exact replica of what happened last night in PC. Exact replica of what happened. The top two, they stayed out on a set of the mediums. I came in for a set of softs. And do you want to take a guess at who came out on top?
You.
Exactly. Sorry, I just wanted to kind of flex that one. But yeah, so...
So just to say, we have the exact same situation in D1 as well. A safety car, lap 24, as it was here, with people staying out on mediums. There must be a thing with lap 24 safety cars. I will plan my D2 strategy around that. But, and Peter's coming in, but he's a lap down.
In all honesty, though, he was on a set of softs already that were relatively fresh, so...
He's had enough. Au revoir from Peter Dorneval. He's left the session, but not retired.
Very interesting, very interesting. But Well, in my opinion now, I think this is Miami's to lose.
Well, I don't think you can quite say that. Any other track, I would agree with you, but Monaco, track position is still hard to come by. So he'll give it a damn good go for those overtakes, but whether he pulls them off, who knows? And Tin Can and Luke Bree all on old tyres. So it is just Miami out of this lead group who's on fresh rubber. It's a very interesting dynamic, I have to say.
Very interesting. Even I'm still really surprised. I know Mark wouldn't have had any sort of fresh softs, but you would still come in for a set of soft tyres, even if it was just one lap done on quali. You would still come in for a fresh set of soft rubber, or not fresh, but a set of softs, because then you're going to have the advantage come towards the end of the race. The softs don't particularly drop off that much around this track. I don't know.
Oh, they drop off massively.
Oh, well,
By lap 8 they're about 2 seconds a lap slower.
ah.
So, or at least at the start of the race, I'm not sure. I presume the drop off is slightly less on low fuel, but yeah, there's a huge drop off on softs, and I wonder if Miami, if he doesn't get past within a couple of laps, he could even struggle to keep Tin Can and Luke behind him if those softs start to wilt. So it is finally poised. So Miami can't run those softs at full tilt forever. They are going to fade. And equally, Cabernet and Rudy's mediums are going to fade as well. They're at the limit, the cusp where they're going to start to drop off massively. So I still think this race is fair game. As much as it seems Carmentalist or Miami have this in the bag right now, I think anyone can go for this, because we know how D3 react to safety cars that go in with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, this is going to be... this is going to be a very, very interesting restart, I must admit. Miami, of course, you're going to favour with him being on now only 2 lap old softs under the safety car, whereas Commentalist and Rudy on 17 and 18 lap old mediums. So you think it'd be relatively easy for Miami to get past, but like you said, it's Monaco. Monaco, no overtakey, is what it says, and we could see Miami get some moves done. He needs to play it smart in these last 10 laps, however, as I think the safety car will come in this lap as Chill has actually just caught up to the back of that safety car. But I don't know. I really don't know.
It's about how much Miami wants it, really. Is he happy to sit in third and take what he can get, or does he want this win? Because if he's happy, if he wants the win, and he doesn't care if he has to lose all of his points to get it, we may well see him send it. If not, if he wants the points and he's thinking about the championship, then I think Carmentalist might have this covered, because you don't want to take that risk, even if you've got fresh tyres. He's got 15 points, Miami. He doesn't want to lose them.
No, he certainly does not. Safety car is now in. Carmentalist is getting this straight underway now at the final corner. A little bit of a slide from him, but he's gotten it straight underway now and has already gapped Rudy ever so slightly. Miami keeping up with those guys as well. Bree dropping off as is Sofian letting Tim Mats go. In fact, Sofian's just letting everyone go.
Old School cuts back under Bree. Bree went a little bit deep in the Sandbot, I think. Old School cut right back underneath him from the outside, and has sent himself up into 6th place. And he's now got Luke ahead of him on Old Hard and Tin Can Old Mediums. Don't count Old School out of this race either yet.
No, we certainly can't. Miami very, very close to the back of Rudy, going through, coming up towards the hairpin. Almost went into the back of the McLaren. Luckily, just keeping it out of his rear. But yeah, I mean, the top 3, you can already see 1.5 seconds is already separating. And Miami, as I said, he needs to play it safe. He needs to play it smart. He's got to think about where he needs to get these moves done if he wants to be able to win this race. It'll be his first, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be his first Division 3 race win.
The top 3 have already dropped the Tin Can by some margin in 2/3 of a lap, 2 seconds, and shows you the pace difference. Because Miami bumping Rudy into Ras Kass. You don't want to be losing wing damage. Is the one thing he can do without right now. If he because he's got a comfy 3rd place right now. That podium is his. He's gaining on Tin Can by 1/10 of a second per corner. So the podium is his. It's just a case of how much he wants to win. And right now he looks very fired up for it, but we'll see.
We shall wait and see. We have, of course, got 9 laps left to go. Really massive lock-up going in towards Maribor. Miami still not able to find any sort of move done. Carmental is having a massive lock-up going in towards the hairpin. Miami, again, he needs to pick this place that he needs to get it done. He needs to get it on traction, and the only place I can really think of is here, coming in towards the tunnel section. Overtake on for Miami, and now I think he's starting to close up ever so slightly to the back of Rudy. Rudy may need to have a bit of a look behind, as maybe looking towards going down the inside of the Nouvelle Chicane. No, he does not. He has to stay behind Mark. However, now going down the inside of the Nouvelle Chicane on Luke, getting that move done, but just breaking ever so much later than the Ferrari. Mark now into 5th position. 0.5 of a second off of Tin Can. He just needs to get that move. He just needs to try and stay behind Tin Can, get the move done when there's DRS. And look how close Miami is to the back of Rudy. Rudy has dropped DRS to Carmental. As Chill was actually out of the session, and there's another safety car. And the leaders have just jumped past it.
That has saved Rudy's nerves because he's staring at a 10-point championship lead right now as it stands, I think, and that has saved him because he did not look comfortable at all. Carmental's already gapped him by a second, but so we've lost 4 cars from this race now, some way shy of the 9 Mark was predicting in his in the Discord earlier. But
I'd say technically 5 because I think Peter isn't actually still in the session, so technically we've lost 5, but
is that game over now in terms of the win, would you say? Could it be?
For Miami,
I think it might
could be. It definitely could be.
And Carmental looks like he's got Rudy covered as well.
Yeah, I mean he already gapped him by a second just before, just after 2 laps. So really, now I've said it was Miami's to lose. I really now think it is Carmental's to lose. I think Carmental's, he's done a stellar job so far in this race. He's gotten the move done on Rudy when he needed to. Stayed up ahead of him ever since. Do we reckon we're going to see anyone come in though?
The only people who will come in would be Google, who would have nothing to lose and have, well, they're not going to gain the amount they'd need to make an impact on the face of this race. Maybe people like YHYY, Damon have already come in. Raleigh staying out though, even though he's got a 16-second gap behind him, so no one seems interested in switching their tyres. You have to say Brie and Tin Can will be grateful for the safety car, because when you look at the state of their tyres, 26 laps old. I said they thought they ran the right strategy at the time, but now those tyres are in a very poor nick, and as Damon retires now in the pits.
Interesting. I'm not too sure why he would have done that. He still could have at least had a couple of points, although I know he did have a few penalties to his name. Luke, of course, still has the 1 penalty to his name. Peter, quite a few, but of course he's now out of the session. So there's now 6 cars out of this race. It's getting closer and closer to Mark's 9 prediction. But yeah, still 14 cars left to go in this race. Carmentalist, of course, the one leading it with, we're going to have 7 more laps left to go off the race as well. Safety car only picked them up on this lap, so they've got 1 more lap with this safety car even after this lap here. So really, lap 34 is where we're going to get going once again. Time really is running out for Miami.
Definitely, and I think he'll have already used the best of those tyres when it comes to green flag. But I'd just like to point out, Killer Instinct has done its work. I predicted IFR and Raleigh JT to have a great race today. I said he was going to win. He's in 12th out of 14 runners. So a shout out to me there for another cracking prediction. I'm not sure who Jav predicted, but it was better than mine.
No, it was Peter.
Oh, it was Peter. Well, between us we are doing the Lord's work, truly, me and Jav.
Yeah, so one's predicted 12th, one's predicted a DNF. So very, very good predictions from all of you guys, to be fair. I mean, I did say I thought Damon was also going to maybe go for the win, and at the moment, well, he's out. Not even at the moment, he's out.
I think we've learned don't do predictions, but we've got a full snake going around sector 2, so safety car will be, as you say, in this lap. I think we're going to see the top 3 break away as they did the first time round. We're just going to see a mirror image, but I think perhaps 4th place might change hands pretty quickly after that restart if the rate Mark was going through them beforehand.
We could see that for sure, but we could also see Tin Can just hold up the Haas driver once again. And I think these top 3 are definitely going to push. Well, they're going to push away from Tin Can in 4th position. It's just if Tin Can's going to be able to hold that 4th, or if Mark is going to be able to shove his way past once again. Car Mentalist going to be leading this restart. He's going to take a bit more of a slower approach this time for this restart. So I wonder how this is going to end up going. Let's comment. Let's look how slow he is going through that swimming pool section. He's letting that safety car just go into the pits, and he's already going before even reaching Raskas. And I think that may have caught Rudy and Miami by a surprise. So here we go. Now under the restart, Tin Can's definitely been caught by surprise. Look at that, 1.2 seconds already separated Miami and Tin Can. And Mark, he's definitely gotten he's gotten the very good restart that he needed, and is looking all over the back of Tin Can. Now coming up in towards Casino. We could possibly be seeing the Haas go for a move, but no, Tin Can just putting on his overtake, making sure he stays up ahead. Miami once again very, very close to the back of Rudy, and Rudy already dropping off from Car Mentalist.
Already a second behind in 3 corners, and Mark sending it down the inside of Tin Can. That is a great move from the Haas driver into Mirabeau, and now he has his sights set on the guys ahead, but I think he'll find Miami tough at opposition. I said 4th place might change hands very quickly. It has, and I wonder if 2nd is going to change hands now, because Rudy he looks like a dog running on ice out there on those tyres. Miami has a great run with the Nouvelle Chicane, but I kept saying, did he want to send it? How much does he want this? I think he's quite happy with 3rd place right now, to be honest. He'll take 2nd if he can get it, but I don't think he wants to risk losing those points. Not with Brie and Raleigh much further down. But I thought there was a half an opening there into Raskas for Miami, but it's not forthcoming, and Tin Can has dropped back from old school by nearly 2 seconds and 2/3 of a lap. The Camco train has been replaced by a Tin Can train here.
Yes, the Tin Can now leading this train. Old School is still all over the back of this little group here between Rudy and Miami. This little debacle between these guys. And one thing we've known from these past 4 races, all 3 of them, it's very, very tricky in the racing, as Miami, I think, was looking for a bit of a half-hearted move going up the inside, but unfortunately not. Very, very close to the back of Rudy going in towards the hairpin. Miami, I think he's trying to push this a bit too much now, at a point where he's getting a bit... Well, he's a bit more on edge now, but Miami, look how close he is still at the back of Rudy. A little bit of lost time now going through the tunnel section, but Mark, again, is still not going to be able to make any sort of capitalization on it. I think Mark could still get a podium, but I don't necessarily think I think if he had a couple more laps, he would be able to. I think it's just a bit unfortunate with the amount of safety cars, and same with Miami. I think it's just a bit unfortunate timing for the both of them.
Miami gave Rudy a feral whack into Mirabeau. I'm wondering if he might actually have some light damage, not visible, but I wonder if he might have some light green or even yellow damage on one of those front wing sides, because he properly hit the back of the McLaren there, but he's got a great run. Miami, Rudy just parks his car in the middle, big look from Miami, but Rudy doing the correct thing, just parking his car in the middle of the track. There's no way around either side then. Miami looks impatient, he wants this position, but he also wants a full front wing, so I think he's going to have to properly save his airs, use it all up in one last send, otherwise there's no way past for him, I don't think.
I think he's going to need to, yeah, and especially down that DRS straight is going to be his best opportunity to get something done then. There's really no DRS to his name, it's just a run out of that final corner he needs. Rudy again, a very bad run coming out of the Nouvelle Chicane. A little bit of a slight touch from Miami on the back of Rudy. Again, still no wing damage for the Racing Point, from the looks of things on our screen anyway, no damage for the Racing Point. Mark, by the way, I think he's also going to want a bit of vengeance throughout all of this. As sorry, we're only riding on board with these guys, but this is a battle for this podium. Miami, a very, very bad exit coming out of the final corner, so it's going to allow Rudy to stay up ahead once more. And Miami, he needs to try and just get the move done when it's, well, he needs to try and capitalise on that final corner, because that's the only place that you can really sort of get DRS. It's the only place you can get DRS, sorry. So he needs to try and capitalise on that part. And at the moment, it's just not working out for him.
I think Old School's tyres are the best on track right now by some margin, because those softs will be feeling very second-hand for Miami now. 11 laps. Ideally, you don't want to be going any more than 5 or 6 on them at the start, so he's gone nearly twice that. And Old School's got a big run on him out of Portier, and he's shaping up. Miami puts that car in the middle of the track, comes across, and there's contact, and I'm not sure whose fault that was. I think that was a racing incident. Old School shaped one way, Miami shaped the other, and it was just unfortunate coming together. I don't think anything will come of that. I was on board with Old School, but I'm not sure what your take was, Jake, on whose fault that was.
I don't know, to be honest with you. As I said, it's just literally, I think it was more the case that Mark had the run. He tried to go one way, Miami covered it off the other way, and I think that's more, well, it's now hurt Miami. We're now in the second to last lap. Miami now, I thought the podium was his, but now it's looking like a 4th place is going to be, well, only a potential, because Tin Can's starting to catch up to the back of Miami now with that massive wing damage he's gotten. So Miami really just needs to try and get a bit of a move on if he wants to at least stay into 4th position. But this battle for the podium is now where it is at. Rudy versus Old School again. Part 16, I suppose we're now going to go with. This is where it's going to get a bit spicier. Rudy's going to try and hold off against Mark. A little bit of a nudge there from Mark into the back of Rudy going through the hairpin. But Mark, he's just buying his time. He wants to try and probably do it on the final lap at the DRS straight. But look at Mark's ERS compared to Rudy's. Mark, he's below 10%. He's used all of his ERS just to keep up to the back of Miami and Rudy, and now he's not gotten any really to sort of go for an overtake with. The only thing he needs to hope is that Rudy's tyres just go, well, kaput.
I think they're not going to puncture up 28 laps. I think Mark has got one chance into Sandoval right now, and if he doesn't pull it off, he's far too far back. He's 6/10 down coming on straight. There's no chance he's going to make that up, unless he decided to take Rudy out of the race, which he doesn't do on this occasion. And Miami now just less than 2 seconds, 1.3 seconds ahead of Tin Can. That could yet change as well. But Car Mentalist has driven a faultless race, hasn't he? Under these lights, he's been outstanding from start to finish. Tremendous drive. He's driven calmly and professionally through it all, you have to say, to find himself in the lead. That move on Rudy was stunning, and a deserved winner. I'm sure you agree.
100% Car Mentalist, as you said, he's driven it absolutely flawlessly throughout tonight. He's had a few little shaky moments, like just there coming out of the Nouvelle Chicane, but yeah, he's kept it cool, he's kept it calm, he's made sure he's stayed it penalty free, kept as clean as possible. 3.2 seconds separates him and Rudy, making his way around Raskas to come up to the final corner. Car Mentalist, give yourself a pat on the back. It is your first win for Division 3 in Season 5. Congratulations to Car Mentalist for that one. Rudy does end up taking second with Mark in third, and there's a massive collision going on back here.
Luke got past Tin Can into Raskas. I just missed that, but Miami held it off. But Luke took, well, he's plummeting on penalties, but he took the place on track. I'd love to see what happened there, but just missed it. But,
yeah, I'm not too sure if it was the case that Tin Can went a bit too deep, or if Luke just tried forcing his way through. I'm not too sure.
I can well imagine Camke, driver of the day from the game. I think that sums it up, doesn't it? He was driver of the day in a way.
They all are for finishing Monaco, that's all I can say. But this man on your screen, the one in the middle in the Red Bull, I would definitely say it's well deserved for him. He, as I said, he done it in Season 3, he's done it again in Season 5. This time, of course, in Division 3. Car Mentalist is a race winner once again. Rudy, commiserations, of course, goes to him in second position. He held off. He literally, the only positions he was in today was just 1 and 2. And, well, he drove very well up until it came to that second safety car. I don't know what happened to his tyres, but they just dropped off a lot more than what Car Mentalist did. And of course, Mark in third. Well, I don't think he was expecting a podium, to be honest with you. I know what Mark was saying before. He does not like Monaco. Mark and Monaco do not mix. And, well, it looks like today the stars aligned and he's actually mixed it with them. So, Mark does end up taking third. Of course, Carmental is taking the win with Rudy in second. Miami does finish fourth, unfortunate for him with that wing damage. Tin Can in fifth with Bree in sixth, with Tim Mats in seventh, Cam K in eighth. From 20th on the grid, so that's probably why he was driver of the day. And to be fair, I suppose that is fair enough. Jerry in 9th with RJ in 10th, Luke in 11th for LA, rounding out the final points position. Sofian in 13th with Wajwawa in 14th, Peter 15th with a DNF actually technically because he left the session. Damon, Chill, Trench, Edok and Urun also with a DNF to their names. Jake, what the hell have we just seen?
I just noticed as you were reading through the results, Rudy was the only driver who finished in the top 11 to finish below where he started. So we saw a proper sifting of the order. Everyone from the back half ended up in the top half, and everyone from the top half ended up in the back half. I think everyone really in the top 10, I think, will be very happy with that race. Bree minimised what was a tricky race for him, considering those trains he ended up in. Tin Can came through very well. He pulled that crucial move on Cam K to find himself up into 5th place, and was unlucky really to lose out that position to Mark, because he could have held it up on another day. Of course, our top 3, Rudy down the championship lead, Car Mentalist has a win under his belt and is throwing himself into that title fight. Old School, as you say, doesn't mix with Monaco, and he's come out with it with the podium. So I think everyone who finished that race in the top 10 will be delighted. Miami as well drove a great race until those last couple of laps. So yeah, I think everyone did themselves credit in that race, everyone that finished, and it wasn't quite the chaos that we might have expected after Canada and Russia, but a great race nonetheless, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. What about yourself?
To be fair, I haven't got any words for what we have also just seen. Again, comment on this, he just pulled off an absolute blinder. He kept it clean, kept his nose clean. And that's all you really got to do at Monaco, is just keep your nose clean. And you'll get yourself a good result. That's exactly what the top 3 did. Everybody else, unfortunately for them, it just didn't work out the way that they would have wanted it to. But yeah, the top 3, they kept their nose clean, and they got well, that was that really for them. So congratulations to the top 3, of course, 2 comments, Rudy and Old School, for finishing on the podium. Jake, have you got any final thoughts for tonight?
I said the overriding thing is that I think everyone drove a great race, and it was a clean race as well. We only saw a couple of little incidents, and some of them, like Old School and Miami, it was racing incidents. They weren't. I don't think I said last week how I was disappointed with the standard of driving, how many bump passes we saw. I retract that this week, because I think for Monaco we saw a very clean and fair race. The overtakes that I caught, they were great overtakes. It was great racing, and when people were in trains, they didn't get too flustered and send unreasonable moves. They respected the track, they respected its limits, and we saw a good race. We saw an entertaining race, and everyone was clean and respectful, which is what you want to see.
Of course, exactly, and hopefully we can see a bit more of that as well throughout these next few races. Of course, we have got China next week, one I know that is definitely a personal favourite of Mr. QVR Chill himself. So I wonder if we will see him towards the top, and I wonder if this is where we'll see his season start to spark up. But Rudy is now your championship leader, and I wonder if that will stay the way it is coming through into next week's race. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in tonight. Make sure you catch Division 2 and Division 5, which is going to be starting in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So make sure, as I said, you tune into that. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week for round 6 around the Chinese Grand Prix.